Always have a hot bowl. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, we're making pizza dough. It's very important to know that pizza dough, out of all the doughs, are very forgiving. Even the measurements that I'm giving here are not perfectly exact. I kind of like to eyeball it a little bit. Anytime you make dough, it is a science. There are some things that you absolutely do need. So there are measurements here. We'll measure this out. It'll be great. We have a tablespoon of yeast, a half a teaspoon of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You will probably need more than that. Because I'm using all-purpose flour, I also add some vital wheat gluten. It's not required, but it makes it tastier, a little bit fluffier of a crust. 1.5 cups to 2 cups of warm water. I don't typically have a thermometer to measure this stuff. I should. If it burns your finger, it's too warm and it will burn your yeast. If it's not warm enough, then your yeast won't dissolve properly. Actually, I'm gonna pop this in the microwave for just a second. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna go ahead and proof my yeast. Put the yeast and the sugar in the water. Stir it up. You want foam to start showing up on top of the yeast and sugar mixture. But the other thing that you can do is mix the yeast and the sugar into the flour. From that point, then you add the salt. You want to keep yeast and salt separate for as long as possible. Use a wooden spoon and a metal or glass bowl. Then what I'll do is I'll warm the bowl up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Having a warm bowl will make your dough combine a little easier and proof it better. So it's a nice warm bowl now. You like that? Oh, I've never seen it do that. Did you see that? Oh, that was cool. Do it again. But do you see how the foam is appearing on top? We gotta let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna put my salt, the vital wheat gluten. This is my baby. Start off with about 2 1/4 cups. I'm not going to be perfectly exact about this. The reason I go to 1/4 is because we have vital wheat gluten in there. I'm also just going to get another cup ready. You'll probably need that eventually. You need to whisk your dry ingredients more than you think you do. Yeah, everything's mixed, it's fine. Keep going. Keep whisking it. Mix it all together. Make sure it's all combined. The vital wheat gluten comes from that hippy-dippy part of the grocery store where they have all the gluten-free flours. It should be in your baking aisle, usually. Vital wheat gluten can be used for a lot of different things. Not good for cake. We don't want gluten production in cake flours, cake batters, rather. But we do want it in dough, especially pizza dough. So I think that is, in fact, with enough.
Your shirt's getting messy. Your shirt's getting messy.
What are you talking about? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Look, we make messes in kitchens. I wear black all the time. I don't care. I don't care if I get messy in the kitchen. That's what we're here for. We clean up after, okay? Other weird thing about dough making of any kind, your kitchen has to be warm enough. Your kitchen should be warm. It should be like high 60s to low 70s is good for dough production because that allows the dough to properly rise in time. What I'm gonna do is let this dough rise and double in size. It'll take maybe an hour or 2. And I'm gonna keep it on top of my fridge so that it stays warm. I'll punch it down, reform it into a ball, and put it in the fridge overnight. If it proofs in the fridge overnight, you're gonna get this lovely, almost sourdoughy like flavor. It's gonna be tangy, but it's gonna be, ooh. So just trust me, okay? But we'll get there, it's a process. I'm gonna take my oil and mix it into my yeast and water mixture. I like olive oil, I think it tastes the best. Use a high quality olive oil, all water. Some people make a well in the middle. It's all gonna get mixed together, who the hell cares? This is 2.5 cups of flour to start with 1.5 cups of water. And look at that, it's very, whoa, this is not dough. Start with 1/2 cup at a time and just mix it in bit by bit until it is all combined. Every time I add in flour, I want to wait until it is completely combined. Now do you see how it's getting sticky? Very clearly still too wet, so I'm going to add another 1/2 cup. The dough is pretty shaggy, but it's not too wet anymore. Make sure your whole surface is covered, okay? I like to cup it and then just shake my hand. Some people will do the fingertips. Some people will do the side toss. And then turn your dough out onto your work surface. I think this is the part that everyone freaks out about, is what to do with the dough. And I just want to assuage everyone's fears now. It's going to be fine. People freak out about this part. And I don't understand, like, if you just keep going, you have to keep going. If you watch the burger video with the French fries, if I just left the fries in the oil and just kept going, everything would have been fine. Just for comparison. And other pizza makers, bread makers may hate what they see right now. I don't care. This works for me, it's fine. So I'm gonna take it and I like to fold it in half and then push down with the heels of my hands. Do you see how that stretches the dough behind it? I should have a little flour over here. I've stretched all this out. I'm gonna pull some of that flour back onto it. You see how I pulled it back? I fold it in half and I push down. And I wanna push the heels of my hands almost completely to the work surface. Fold it in half, push down. Pull, fold, push. Pull, fold, push. Pull, fold, push. What I'm doing is stretching all that gluten in the flour. Wheat has a component of gluten, and there are a lot of amazing videos on what gluten actually is and what gluten is for people with celiac disease or actual gluten intolerance or gluten allergies. This should be kneaded over the course of like, I don't know, 10 minutes. I'm just gonna keep kneading this until it is all incorporated. And it'll be a little sticky, smooth, and then once I set it into my greased bowl, I ain't gonna touch it. My friend, her favorite thing to do.
That's aggressive.
I know. We have a fairly smooth ball of dough. I could probably keep kneading this for a while, but I'm tired and it's almost midnight. And I'm gonna take some olive oil. How much? I don't know. About that much. Olive oil, it's good for your skin, unless it's not, in which case, no. You want to take your dough and you want to get the whole thing covered in olive oil. This is gonna rise for about an hour, maybe 2. Again, I say that with caveats. The other day I made dough and the dough did not rise in 4 hours. It barely doubled in size, if at all. There, so I'm just gonna stick this right up here. Ta-da! Let's go. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. All right. If you are in a colder temperature area, if you're in a colder climate, you're going to need your warm blah, 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 blah. And now I will punch it. Whoa. Reform it gently into a ball. That's some lovely dough right there. Okay, my favorite genre of music is sad, lonely girl crying in her bedroom over her ukulele. So anything by Sarah Bareilles or Ingrid Michaelson. I think Regina Spektor fits that bill too. Imogen Heap. My queen, Megan Tonjes, has just ruled at that genre for long enough and not enough people know about her. Now this lovely rewrapped bowl of dough is going to go into the refrigerator overnight. We'll check back tomorrow and then I'm gonna make my pizza. Cheers. It's been a long day. I was up very late. And now I have to make pizza. Oh, let's do it. Use a coaster. This is the fun part. This is the part everyone wants to do. They want to put the toppings on the dough. The dough is like the horrible, stressful part. And so in order to have all of this be wonderful and beautiful, you need good ingredients, but you need the dough. So we stressed out yesterday about the dough. The dough is fine. I have my oven preheating to 550. That's as hot as I want to try. I'm still experimenting with this oven. It's relatively new for me, so I'm a little nervous about it. So we have our dough. It looks like dough. I'm very excited to play with it. I'm gonna divide it in half and use half of it today. I'm gonna spread it out. Ooh, damn girl. Look at that shit. I want the crust to be a little browner, so we're gonna let it go just another few minutes, but in the meantime, have you learned about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Because he loves you. He loves you so much. Ooh. Second glass of wine. Oh, that's perfect. You gotta get yourself a big ass spatula. Ooh, baby. I'm from Michigan. Do you know what this means? Ranch dressing. Now, my Michigan homies out there, I know you know what I'm talking about. Ranch goes on absolutely everything. And if you think blue cheese is an okay substitute, fuck right the hell off. You are wrong. You need Jesus, and you're going to hell. That is a fucking pizza. I'm gonna fucking cut into it and take a bite. Wait! Want to take a picture? He wants to take a picture. I'm like flexing like nobody's business. The tiny, tiny negative A cups that I have. You get gooey, but it doesn't really. Well. Fuck! God, that's so good. Fuck! God, this is so good. I love pizza so much. It's so good. I wasn't even this hungry. People probably think that's gross. I don't care. It's really good. Okay, bye.